I am the Lord of Darkness. 20 years old, by the way. Today we're going to be playing Evolved Skeleton Barrel with Evil Eye Spirit and a bunch of Cycle cards, and we're going to see how that goes. But, as you can see by the title of today's video, As you can see by the title of today's video, you all came here for one reason only, and that is to learn how to talk to women. And I don't know how to spell your name from Los Machos, but you're going to be in for a good one. You know what? Let's give them a little emo. But yeah, as I was saying, you came here to learn how to talk to women, and I'm sure my viewers, my sexy, handsome Giga Chat of my viewers, they know how to do that already. But we're going to get a little bit more into depth today, and you're going to learn all the secrets that a man like me, from previous relationships and from previous knowledge, knows. And I'm going to share my secrets today, so let's get into it. So, let's assume that this is a woman you like, obviously. And, she could be anybody. She could be from your college. She could be from your gym. It doesn't really matter. Now, what does matter is if you're seeing her once, or if you know her, you see her around more than once, Like, do you see her at the gym, or do you see her at school? There's a big difference in that. But we're going to go with the first scenario. So, first, we're going to assume that you see this woman often, right? Whether it be at the gym or school, it doesn't really matter. And so now that you see this woman often, the first thing you want to do is strike a good first impression. Let's assume that she doesn't really know you. So again, you want to strike a good first impression because whether it be in school, in life, and whether it be a job interview, you always want to have that first good impression to make, to kind of show her what you are. So now that you strike that first good impression, we're going to assume that you want to start like a casual conversation, almost like you're talking to a friend of yours, Like, let's say, for example, you're at the gym, that this girl is at the gym, and you're going to be, you want to strike a conversation, like maybe she's mid-set or done right after her set. You want to be like, oh, that was kind of heavy, wasn't it? Or a good set, something simple, maybe not that corny, but something a little bit better. And once you've done that, then you start getting the conversation going, and assuming that she's a little interested, well, at least in this situation, you kind of want to, after that, you want to keep the conversation flowing and going, But again, you want to keep it as casual as possible. Nothing too serious. You want to keep the conversation light and whatnot. Now that you have finally caught her attention, and you've built some sort of relationship, even small, then you kind of wanna keep it going, You wanna approach her again. Maybe you see her again, I don't know, let's say in a couple days, right? And you'll be like, now you have some sort of familiarity with her, right? Now she knows you're gonna be like, oh, hey, whatever her name is. Let's assume her name is Abby in this situation. Oh, hey, Abby, how you doing? She'll be like, oh, hey, how you doing? And now she's gonna remember you, right? And now she's not gonna be so, I would say, cold as in to approach you, because she kind of knows who you are. You're a little bit more familiar with her. And let's not choke right here. So I'm going to go in with a clone right here, and we're just going to give him a good game right here, because I kind of want to continue the story. And this guy's being a little pain in the asshole right now, if I do say so myself. Clone that, and that is GG's. But yeah, as I was saying, so now you got some familiarity with her, and you guys are keeping the conversation going and flowing, and things are looking up. Things are looking bright. And now, obviously, you want to approach and get her number. That's the most important thing. And so how you do that is, again, let's assume you see this girl a lot. We'll get to what happens if you only see this girl once. That's a whole different situation. But, yeah, one day, that day that you want to get her number, you want to make sure that you kind of set the mood really, really nice, You guys want to have, like, almost a really... it's almost like a date, but not really. Like at the gym, maybe. Again, let's go with that gym scenario. You want to keep it as if you had the best set, she had the best set. You guys are, the vibe is going, the mood is flowing. Things are looking good. So now that we got to that part, then you want to go in again, casual, but not. You don't want to seem too desperate, but at the same time, you want to make sure that like, hey, oh shit, he's playing Mini P.E.K.K.A. I might just lose this game, because I'm yapping too much. Holy shit, stop, P.E.K.K.A. Okay, he's gonna take one of my towers. That's not looking good. Gotta suck at this game. Alright, anyways, as I was saying though, yeah, you want to approach her, maybe towards the end of the gym session. And you want to be like, hey, can I get your number? That simple, straight up, forward, nothing too crazy. And let's assume she does give you your number, right? So now you've got her number, and now you know her and got to know her a little bit better. So now it's almost like you guys gone on your first date, but you haven't really yet. So that's what you need to keep in mind. So now let's assume you want to plan your first date. That's the most important thing. And how you would want to do that is now you got her number, right? You wanna, when you see her again, you want to talk to her and be like, hey, want to go out on a date? You got a number. Maybe you call her. Actually, no. Scratch that. You do call her. Be like, hey, this is me, blah, 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 from the gym. And now you guys are talking. And it's getting even better because now you finally got the relationship outside of the area that you usually go to, which is the gym. So now that you've got that, all that situation settled, you got to know her, you got her number, this, that, yada, yada, yada. Now we can finally get to the most important part, the date. So now you want to get to the date, right? You want to be able to plan it properly, but at the same time, you don't want to mess anything up. Again, you don't want her to back out and make it seem like, oh, this is not a good idea, etc., etc. What you want to do is you want to talk to her. You want to ask her, hey, you want to go on a date with me, and she'll probably say yes by this point because again, you have her number, you have this, and you have everything. And after that, you know, let's assume you get the date plan, she says yes. Then you have to plan where you want to go. So you're gonna say the movies, this, that, and let's assume you do the movies, right? It's simple, over shoulder, how it goes. And then you plan the date, you tell her what time, and then of course you give her the option to do you want me to pick you up? You say that. Now you say it in a question manner way because then she could say either yes or no. You don't, again, some people, well, depending on this girl, maybe she's not, again, all that comfortable with you just yet. So she might say no. So you give her the option to say yes or no. That's the most important part. And let's assume she says yes. So now you pick her up, you're looking dashing. Again, something nice, calm, cool. You probably got your Louis Vuitton jacket or whatever on. Something a little flex. Maybe that rolly on the wrist. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, now that you're all flexed out, you're ready to go on this movie date. What do you call? You keep the conversation light and cool in the car, and you guys go enjoy that date. You go watch the movie, however it is. Maybe put an arm on the shoulder during the movie. I wouldn't know. That's up to you. And then after you guys maybe go, then after that, maybe you surprise her. And you say, hey, you want to go get something to eat? And that, by then, she's probably in a pretty light mood. She's probably gonna say yes. Let's go get something to eat because you watch the movie. Vibes are all time high. So the movie is good, and got her arm around the shoulder, and things are looking good. Things are looking good for you now. So now you guys go get a bite to eat. Let's assume you don't want to do something too fancy, but at the same time, you don't want to seem like a cheapsake. So I would say probably go to your local restaurant that's a little upscale, but not too fancy, where you burn your pockets, and then your check is gone for the rest of the week. Yes. You don't want to be doing that. And I'm probably going to lose this game too, but it's all about the story at the end of the day. Who really cares about the game? Am I right? Am I right? Hopefully I don't lose to this guy, though. And he's going to play that. All right, that's not... Okay, yeah, we're going to lose this game. But anyways, as I was saying, so yeah, you don't want to spend your bread too much. You want to keep what's in your pocket, but something nice and affordable, something that doesn't seem that, you're wasting too much, or you're cheap state. So now, of course, like the gentleman you are, take it to the restaurant. You guys, she orders what she wants, you order what you want. And again, drinks are flowing, the food is going, and the vibe is at an all-time high. And then finally comes the most important part at the end of the night, as we all know. You're driving her back to her house, and you leave her off the doorstep, and, then you go in for the kiss. That's all it's all about. You pucker out your lips like this, and you give her a nice, big, fat smooch on the lips. And that's that. You've succeeded in your mission. You've got the girl. You took her on a date, and you got your kiss. And that is how to approach and get a date on with a woman. And now let's lock in because I want to end off this video on a good note. And you know what, Mike? Are you recording? Yes, you are. And this guy's playing Rune Giant Goblin Demolisher. And I've seen this one, buddy, and you're not going to get away with that. Yes, I've taken half his tower and the other tower. And I know that we lost the past 3 games, but I had a story to tell. And as they say, you can't interrupt me in my story. And I'm going to let that little recruit go right there. And I'm going to clone that because he's not doing anything to stop it personally. So I don't know why. I think he's just asking for the 3 crown. Yeah. In the comments down below, let me know if you want a part 2. Because I have to say, this was kind of made up on the fly. So it might have been not that good. So part 2, I'll go more in depth. Maybe kind of tell what I was going to say, in a different way. And yeah, so that is the video. Leave your comments down below. Tell me your thoughts, what you like, what you didn't. And see you all in the next video.